Now, Dim, I'm going to ask you something that is setting you up for a biased answer, but I know in the way that you and I've known each other, you're not going to never be flavouring or colouring something. It's not to be true, but I know you've umpired around so many venues across Melbourne, you know, from children to, you know, socially amateur areas, and you developed Paran Social Netball, or Paran Netball, I should say, Netball Association, from the ground up across 20 years, and you've left that adult area for a variety of reasons that you and I know, and you've stayed with the children. Now, the question is why you umpire at places like Albert Park and all different sorts of competitions, state competitions, whatever. What is your opinion about the way we develop our umpires? Because, you know, we recruit from inside. They're not necessarily association players. They've never had a coach or, you know, they just love the game. This is a starting point. Do you think we do a good job as a team? And if so, why, and what do you think is the difference? Are we great?
Okay. Yeah, it's quite a large answer to that. Yes, you're right. I have umpired a lot of different venues over a lot of different years. I have umpired at Paran, where we have got a junior umpiring area that we work on, and it works. Takes a long time. It's not structured. The kids come and go whenever they sort of feel like it, pretty much. I've umpired at Albert Park, where they've given me people to umpire, to help train umpires, but they don't put any sort of effort into it. In other words, here's an umpire, train her up if you can, and it doesn't last more than 2 weeks. Now, how an umpire can learn in 2 weeks is beyond me, and of course what happens is the person comes along, they're very enthusiastic for the first couple of weeks while I've got them, but then they don't come anymore because A, they don't take the time to develop those people, and it's a money-making venture. As far as they're concerned, you just put umpires onto a court. Whether they're good, bad or otherwise makes no difference to them. The thing that I find about Melbourne netball is that firstly there is a definite structure to bringing umpires in. The recruiting side of it, they go quite in depth in terms of the knowledge of the person that they're actually bringing in to train. Secondly, when they do come in, they have got books that they go by. They can log their own mistakes. They can log their own strengths. You can go over that logbook continuously and work out their strengths and weaknesses and what we need to work on the following week. We also have the backing, I feel, of the coordinators and the other umpires that are there at Melbourne Netball. I haven't once heard a word against a trainee umpire from any other umpires. What I have heard is she's doing well, or he's working really well, he's looking good. You know, I can name that nearly every week I'm at Melbourne Netball with trainee umpires. I have that said to me from either a coordinator, I can't believe the work that person is doing, and the capability of that person. They're really looking good. They're calling really nicely. They're coming on well. All sorts of comments like that, which, when you feed that back to a trainee umpire, that really gives the person confidence and makes them ready to take on more. They also feel as though they're getting support from a group of people that they're going to have to fit in with. So that's really, the support at Melbourne Netball is really perfect as far as I'm concerned, as opposed to other areas that I have seen operate. Some other areas, they can tell you how bad their trainee is going, not, oh, I'll get behind this kid because they're new and they need to learn. No. They look at them from the point of view as, I hope you make lots of mistakes.
Wow.
That's how I see
I
them.
just can't imagine thinking like that.
It's no way to develop people, is it?
No, and it's always the glass is half full. They're coming with knowledge anyway, aren't
Absolutely.
they? You know, top her up. It's right.
And not only that, I think they've got a lot of guts.
Yeah, it's a
coming and
courageous.
wanting
You're
to
right.
do that.
It is a courageous step because,
Yes.
and when people, and that's why I've often thought I admire anyone that's prepared to step up.
Yes.
Because not only we know how much the success is that they'll
Yes.
evolve from.
Yeah.
There's no other job like the speed of learning
Yeah.
to umpire and your awareness that goes with
Absolutely.
it, and holding your ground with multiple people against a differing opinion to your own.
Yes.
And learning that, but there's also something to be said about becoming a better player from the experience anyway. And then, strangely enough, they can add such a different level of quality in ruling and coaching to social players in particular.
Yes.
You know, they don't
Yes.
quite realise then that that's
Yeah.
the service that comes
Yeah.
and helps the branding
Yes.
as well.
Yes, it helps everybody lift. You know, they gain a certain adjustment in their level and their skills.
Yeah.
Because an umpire learning takes it back to their own team and
Yeah.
takes it back and explains little things that, maybe they never knew before.
Yeah.
And many times, new umpires say, I will never go crook at an umpire again.
Yeah.
when they've been on a court for 2 or 3 weeks. They realise the differences where they come from as to how they see a game from an umpire's point of view. And that doesn't mean to say that it takes the enjoyment out of that. It's how the game opens up in their eyes from just a little bit of a rule book and learning a little bit and blowing a whistle on a court. Their skill level usually goes up.
And do you, coming in and out of different teams of staff or staff groups of umpires, you work at Melbourne City Sport during the day, you work at Melbourne Netball at night, a lot of nights, and you work at Albert Park one night a week or something, and then Paran. What do you notice as a team of umpires with Melbourne Netball that is different, or is it?
Yes, it is different. It's certainly supportive. They get on really, really well. They're not frightened to collectively go to a group and talk to that group. Collectively, and I mean collectively because you see 2 or 3, 4 umpires sometimes talking to a group of players. You never see that anywhere else. It's almost like one person has to face 7 people advancing on her or him. The other umpire will disappear. It's your problem.
Yeah, right. I think also too, there's no bickering amongst the
No,
staff. This is what
none
I
at
love.
all.
You know, that I think is a
Yeah.
key element, that
Yes.
they are there to bond with each other, and they don't. We don't go out and do social drinks as a typical
No.
group of people. There might be
No.
a few friendships here and there, but it's a professional staff.
Yes, it is. It's very professional and it's very supportive of each other. And they do mix well together.
Yeah, and under those circumstances, it's pretty easy to go into work as a team and know that you
Absolutely.
can handle anything.
Absolutely.
Thanks.